dedicated to each and every one of you who appreciate a great glass of wine. You know what I mean?
It's Monday. Let's raise a glass to the beginning of another week. It's time to unscrew, uncork, or saber a bottle. And let's begin exploring the wine glass. Today, I am sitting down with 5 wine lover friends, and we are discussing trends in the wine industry post-pandemic. I know it's a little bit of a stretch to say we are post that pandemic, but we are, I think, over the hurdle and looking at the brighter side. I have to apologize. For some unknown reason, parts of it do have a echo, and as much as I tried to fix it, it just wasn't happening. So I apologize for the poor audio, but the conversation was incredible. You're not going to want to miss it. Sláinte. Hey everybody, I'm Lori Budd, a UC Davis winemaking program, someday service, champagne specialist, and WSET Level 2 graduate. You can find Exploring the Wine Glass on all the socials, as well as your favorite podcast catchers. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to swipe, subscribe, rate, and review. I promise I'll never tell you what to drink, but I'll always share what's in my glass.
Give me the red wine.
Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of Wine Writers Wrap Up. It's been a while since we've gotten together, and I needed to see some familiar faces and enjoy some smiles with about wine trends post-pandemic. And I know it's a bit early since we are still in the pandemic, getting past the major stuff. So I have 5 friends with me today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves first. So Susannah, you're up first.
Hi, I'm Susannah Gold. It's really nice to see old friends and new friends. And I have a marketing education company called Vigneto Communications.
Awesome. And my buddy Nick.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick Berube, also known as Wine Com Guy. I work in the wine industry doing marketing, and I'm also a diploma student with the WSET.
And Michael.
I'm Michael Kelly. I write for California Wines and Wineries. I'm a blogger and putting on the 3rd Cab Franc celebration that goes international this April.
Awesome.
Very excited.
Amber.
So hi, I'm Amber Burke, and I write Wine Travel Eats, and I do a little bit of marketing and a little bit of PR and a little bit of a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm just happy to be here and joining in the conversation this evening.
Hey, and Anatoli.
Hello, I'm Anatoli Levine. I write Tocadina wine blog, and I like all the things wine, so and I'm always happy to talk about it. So.
I write a blog and whatever, I like drinking.
That's right.
And I am your host, Lori. My husband and I own Dracaena Wines in Paso Robles. We are getting ready to harvest our 2021 Cabernet Franc. So it is a very, very busy time right now, on top of getting ready to release our club. So I'm just happy to... I'm in front of a computer, but it's for a different reason now. So it is great to be here. So we are going to talk about wine trends post-pandemic, with hopes that we are actually post-pandemic in the near future. And this is from an article in Bloomberg News by writer Elin McCoy. So this is their article. I honestly don't know if that is a male or a female, because I don't know what Ellen is. Or Elin, I don't know.
Elin.
Do you know that person?
I know Elin. Yes, I know Elin very well. She's a long-established wine writer.
Okay, so she. All right. We will go with that. So this is an article that she wrote, and this is predictions that she has said are going to be popular. So I just thought it was kind of interesting. So the first one is pink Prosecco is the new thing. And this is what she has to say. I'm betting that the big pink drink will be Prosecco Rosé, and that it is now an approved category launched in Italy, which, Susannah, I'm guessing you can have something to say about.
Sure.
And she says it is going to be the next big thing. So I'm going to start
So-
off with you, Susannah.
Great. So I'm an Italian wine specialist, which is why Lori is asking me this question. And I did used to work with the Prosecco Consortium. So Prosecco Rosé was launched earlier this year. It's a new category that they can have, but Pinot Noir has been grown for many, many, many years in the Prosecco area. So it's not that they newly planted Pinot Noir. I agree with Elin that it's going to be a big category. I hope you guys have all tried the Prosecco Rosé because it kind of works with both of, two really big trends, right? Sparkling wine and rosé. And they're delicious. I actually really enjoy the Prosecco Rosés that I've had. It's actually called Prosecco DOC Rosé. So that makes a real difference to producers where you put the word rosé. So just to be clear that it's Prosecco DOC Rosé after the DOC.
So,
have you
Susannah,
guys tried them? Mm-hmm.
I have not, but are they mixing the still Pinot Noir in with the Glera? Like once it's Prosecco, they're making. Okay.
I believe they are. I believe that it's. I believe, but I'm not 100% on this. I think it's 85% has to be Pinot Noir, and it can be 15% Glera, but it might be 90%. It might be 95. I think it's 85, but don't quote me on that. Even though this is a podcast, so I'm being quoted. But
I think you're right, though, Susannah. I think that's.
I think it's 85. Yeah, I think it's 85, and it's kind of has been something that's been going on for many, many years, but it was finally official this past year, and they've really done well with it. I mean, Prosecco has grown immensely, as we all know. I think they're up to 600 million bottles a year. I mean, just some crazy amount. I worked with them in 2013, and it was 350 million bottles a year. I mean, that's a huge increase.
I think what you said, like it or love it, Prosecco's here to stay, Rosé's here to stay. They're not fads. They are long-term trends. And hey, if that's what people like, that's what people like. Obviously, Michael does not.
But Michael does like sparkling wine, right? Do you like sparkling wine?
No, I like Prosecco. I'm a big fan of Prosecco. We had an Italian night here in the compound that I live in, and I served Prosecco. I like Prosecco. I am just not a rosé person, and so to me, it's just a waste of good wine being sparkling wine, making it a rosé.
So, Michael, wait. I'm gonna ask a question here. so why are you saying it's a waste of good grapes? So, are you going with the people who do direct press, or Sláinte, or it doesn't matter? You just are anti-rosé.
I'm just a real bigot on rosé. That's all I can say. No, it's just, as you well know, we all get wine sent to us, and we taste various wines. And just recently, like last week, a very well-known winemaker in Napa sent me some rosé, and we literally all poured it down the drain. And this was from a relatively famous winemaker. It's just, rosé just doesn't light anybody's fire in California who are real wine drinkers. Now, Amber, maybe you have a different perspective on that, but the people that like a heavy body Cabernet or Tinto, was it like a Graciano or something like that? Something that's a heavy red wine. In California, most people rosés for the millennials and the next gen coming up, and to indoctrinate them into getting to hopefully get to some good wine. That's how I look at rosés.
Them are fighting words.
No, so I said I'm a bigot. I'm a bigot.
Those are fighting words.
Everybody
Everyone is entitled
and
to their
we all
opinion.
have our own palates. We do. I mean, we cross over, and what we're taught in wine school is, how to pick a good wine, but it still doesn't speak to your own palate. And that's perfectly good. Some people don't like white wine, or some people don't like red wine. Everybody has their thing. And the thing is that when I talk about getting the rosés going, I even go into the Rosado. I like the deeper, richer wines. And I was going to double down on this whole conversation here and saying my prediction goes one step further. My prediction is red sparkling is going to be the next big thing. It started 2 years ago, really starting. It's gaining, especially around the holiday time, for your turkey, for your whatever. I'm seeing more and more producers making it. I'm seeing more and more people purchasing it. Mama here in Napa makes a beautiful, beautiful red sparkling. It's not something I would normally reach for personally, but I really love it with my Thanksgiving turkey. I'm just going to say, I think that that's going to be a new thing. That's going to be the darker rosés, the red sparkling. That's going to be trending.
I agree with that.
I hope you're wrong. I really do.
Amber, is that
there
That
is
so fun.
nothing more horrible than sparkling red. I'm sorry. That's just horrible.
I would agree.
rosé. I am absolutely all the way. And Michael, I would for when people say I don't like this and I don't like that, my answer is always the same: the blind tasting. So I would challenge you, whatever Provence, whatever your style is, I will challenge you with California wines. This year I had Castello Amorosa Rosé, Pinot Noir Rosé, which is phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Absolutely phenomenal wine. Just blows you out of the water. I guarantee in a blind tasting, you will not be able, not that specific, but I'll challenge you. Easy. In a blind tasting, I guarantee you a lot of surprises. I've done a lot of blind tasting dinners, and I've had people just saying, "Are you seriously telling me I hate the wine which I brought?" That is impossible, and that's what happens in a blind tasting. So, this is my answer to all of the I don't drink this and I don't drink that. But the sparkling red, that's way too heavy. That's
Don't knock it till you try. I will.
no. I had sparkling Shiraz, and it can be balanced. No,
No,
that's
just say no.
But Anatoli, you're doing exactly the same thing Michael is, right? You're saying no.
No. There is no wait. Michael says there are rosé which I love, and I'm very particular about my rosé and everything. And for that, I'm saying let's do blind tasting. The sparkling red.
Sparkling red.
Seriously?
Have you had some of the quality sparkling red of the Lambruscos?
I had Lambruscos. Okay, Lambruscos. Okay.
Gragnano.
Lambrusco
Great.
Lambruscos can be okay. Yeah, Lambruscos can be okay.
So here we go, right here.
Actually, you're right.
Then,
yes.
And then
Lambrusco can be okay.
Okay. I want to say that Mom every year makes one red sparkling. I had it 5 years ago. Every year I beg for a bottle. They give me it. They manage to find me one every year, and I do love it at Thanksgiving and Christmas. I open that. That's my little fun thing that I like to do. But if we're coming back to rosé in general, I want to just point out that this year Cliff family is making a rosé of Cab Franc. And I would highly recommend that, and say anybody who wants a lovely rosé with some body to it, I would highly recommend that beauty. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
They're going to be Saunier. They're not going to do a direct press, right?
I'm sorry?
Is it going to be a direct press or is it a Saunier?
It is a direct press.
Ooh,
Wow.
Yeah.
And
that's big
and
bucks
you-
right there. Ooh,
I was big fat.
holy
And you know what?
crap, that's
Is
big
that
bucks.
they are committed to quality, and I'll tell you what, I was blown away. Normally, I'm all about their rosé of Grenache, and this year, because they couldn't get Grenache, they made this rosé of Cab Franc, and it is absolutely phenomenal. And I will put my reputation on that
Wow.
bottle.
I mean, that's big bucks right there. Like to do a direct press of Cab Franc is big bucks. That's, I mean, in all honesty, that's the one reason why we are not doing a rosé of Cab Franc. Because we just can't afford to harvest the fruit at the quality we want and then make a rosé out of it. You know,
But to make rosé, do you need the full ripeness?
I don't need the ripeness. I need the wallet.
Yeah.
No.
The cost per
Do you
ton.
do you do the first pass? Do you do like a green harvest or something? Can you?
Well, you're gonna harvest it a little bit earlier than you would if I was harvesting
So
my Cab
just
Franc, I
remove
would
some of the
have
fruit, no?
It's still cost per tonnage to direct press and throw the rest of that back.
I get it, but a lot of some of the California rosé are 40 plus. I think in 40 plus you probably can do it.
Okay, yeah, but I don't, in all honesty, hi, Dracaena Wines, $40 rosé when my award-winning Cab Franc is 45 isn't gonna fly.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on a limb here, and my next thing on the same subject, and I'm gonna just like move this on the other direction. The next trend that we're gonna see is red wines vinified to white.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
telling you that's gonna be the next trend.
It's
Here in Spoon Valley, we're making a beautiful white Pinot, and I'm seeing more and more people making white Cab Franc, white Merlot, traditionally red grapes in a white wine. So I'm just letting you know that that's going to be another trend.
right. So,
Amber, you're about to give Michael an aneurysm.
I know I am.
So no, but
Michael.
I think that's a less lasting trend, though. I mean, yeah.
Guys, yeah,
I don't see that.
would. So Amber, I would.
Come on, that white Pinot.
I would. Wait. Hold on. And so, yes, I would take that. However, this is part of a bigger trend because the bigger trend is move to direct sales and move to wine clubs, which become really very serious vehicles. So when you have that and you want to diversify your portfolio, yeah, you're gonna throw in 100 cases of white Pinot. Why not?
No.
But if you need to get it into the stores, you will be very hard pressed to do this because mass consumer, you're gonna spend tons on education trying to get that into actual mass market. But if you are direct to consumer, and as a lot of wineries are today, yeah, you can do this.
Well, I can tell you right now that the red wines, the traditional red wines that are being vinified to white, are flying off the shelves here in Napa, and in Oregon, and from what I'm hearing, people are getting excited and moving forward with unusual stuff, and I like it. I like the trend. They're being interesting.
So Amber, let me ask you a question. Are these wineries that are doing this, are they doing it because they're looking for shelf space and uniqueness and trying to carve out a new piece of the market? Or are they simply, for the love of white wine that's really a red grape? Are they trying? So my question is that the trend? People are just, so I'm trying to take a step back. Is it really going after taking a red grape and making it a white wine, or is it really bigger than that and trying to get the consumer's attention for something unique and carve out a market?
I don't think so. I truly believe that people are looking right now. The winemakers are looking to do something different and interesting. Two Shepherds, White So was slap your mama good. I have to say that I'm a big fan of here in Sassoon Valley of the white Pinot Noir, the Eclipse from Tolinas. And that's not just because they're, I represent them. That is because it's freaking good wine. There's a white Cab Franc that's being made right now in Oregon that is, again, slap your mama good. It is just so good because you're getting that white wine with texture to it. And it's kind of a gateway drug. That's how I see it, is that these traditional red wines that are being vinified in a white wine style are so interesting because they bring a unique spin on a traditional grape, and people are looking for something unique.
Okay, I would agree. I'm going to agree with you, Amber. I think it's a little bit of both. I think the people that are making it are actually passionate about making it. And then on the second side of that, they are looking to break into shelf space. I mean, when we look at what's eating into wine, I mean, wine is already... the section is decreasing rapidly. So if you're going to take up new space, whether it's better for you, you need something that's going to stand out. And let's face it, the world does not need another $30 Chard or Cab or $50 Cab. It doesn't need it. So it just brings something new to the market. Just has to be done correctly.
I agree. And I think that that's the big thing is people, you've got to find a niche that is yours that you can break through for people to recognize you. And I think that's why you're seeing the white Cab Francs or the white Pinot Noir and things like that. But on that end, Amber, that white Pinot from Tolinas is incredible.
I agree.
I concur.
It is incredible. But yeah.
Michael, you've had it, have you not?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Anatoli, have you had the white Pinot from Sláinte?
I had one white Pinot in Oregon, not necessarily from that producer.
I will send you a bottle, sweetie. How about you, Susannah? Have you had white Pinot?
I have not. I've had white Nebbiolo, but I have not had white Pinot. I feel like you guys are like, it's the California world. It's so not the world that I live in terms of the wine world. It's very interesting to me.
So I'm going to go, I'm going to be in the New York and Italian market because that's where I live. I'm not with the rest of the group here with the whites and the.
But but you're against all the great Chedaswalo Rosatos that are out there. I mean, I think one of the big trends is darker rosé. I mean, all the Chedaswalo Rosato, Chiaretto that's darker. I mean, there's so many great rosé wines from Italy or from Spain that are coming out that I feel sad that you're just kind of dissing because you've just decided that there are no really good rosé wines. But
Michael, you're not welcome in New York. Michael, you're not welcome there.
You're not welcome. You gotta open your palate, open that mind.
I get it that maybe you're not the Provence style rosé,
right?
The very light style, but there are so many different rosés. Like the Côte de Rhône has rosé that is full bodied. That is just what the Village is are. It's so full bodied and so full of spice and everything. So I get maybe not Provence style, but maybe venture out a little to.
So as Lori knows, and I think Amber knows, I taste between 1,600 and 1,800 wines a year, and I have tasted a lot of rosés. And if you in that cellar, that's the screen behind me, that's only part of the cellar. I think in that entire cellar, there's 2 bottles of rosé. And one of those 2 is going down the drain from what we had last week, and that was promised to be a full body, excellent rosé. So
I'm going to make it my mission to find a rosé that you like this year.
Okay, then
I'm going to send you a lot of rosé.
I will
this year
try
myself.
any rosé. And the worst
All right.
thing, last
You're
summer.
on, we're on.
Okay,
We're on. Give
but
me a
not this
year.
summer. But last summer, I got shipped every kind of rosé in a can from everybody.
Yeah.
And that just made it even worse.
Well,
You
I'm not
have,
shipping
those
you
you
rosé
have
from
to
a
be very
can.
careful with, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I had some stuff in the can which I could not believe someone would produce. Even though I love canned wines, I have nothing against canned wines, but some of the stuff
again,
people put there.
It's so much for whatever is out there. There is good stuff and there is plunk.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
I
No
have
question.
to say, yeah. I was very against wine in cans. I was kind of really just, I had a position about that. I was very negative about
No.
it, and I have revisited that vision.
Right?
No,
You
it's
have to
wine in
realize-
can is great. I had my first in 2014. This is the wine in can is
It has
good
Well,
wine
it's
in
great.
can is just good wine in can. Nothing's wrong with it.
Right.
Yeah, I have to disagree with you, Anatoli, but we've had this
Feel free.
conversation privately. You and I have had this conversation. Again, you told me you were drinking. I have only just barely, and again, I get all the samples that y'all get, and I have just barely found a canned wine that I can actually say to people, I love this wine. This is actually worth drinking. And if you're going to spend money on canned wine, this is the canned wine to drink. But before that, I was like, God, please make it stop.
Right, me too.
Amber, so I can't even say come on over because last time you tried, this was not a very successful trip, so I'll shut up. But if you somehow will make it over here, I'll take you on Long Island, and I'll find the wine for you to try both from the bottle and from the can, which is just simple, delicious,
All right.
unpretentious, and everything in between. I'm serious.
You know what? I trust your palate. So if you're telling me honestly, I will be open-minded about that. But I did find a canned wine finally that I like, and in fact, we just did a new sample of that tonight, and that is Maker's canned wine, and I have yet to find a dud in all of those wines. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
And where's it from?
Co-brand.
All different winemakers.
It's a co-brand private label, right?
Okay.
Label, and they get all these great winemakers. Alice Sutro is one of them. There's a whole bunch of rock star winemakers, and they make 1 or 2 wines for this brand. And I have been so impressed tonight. We had a Zinfandel. I have no idea. It was all blind, so I have no idea who made it, but it was so gorgeous. Both David and I really loved it. And I think that's another thing that's going to be a trend is higher end canned wine.
Oof. That is actually a problem.
That face is fantastic.
Yeah. So
Okay, so I have 2 problems with that. Okay, so problem number 1, well, yeah, maybe
Shelf life.
theoretically, maybe it can age. I don't know, because if it's really a serious wine, well, but you age wine under screw top, so maybe it can in a can. I have no idea.
No, the liner won't hold up.
Okay, so my second problem is that they put at least half a bottle in those cans, and sometimes it's more. So once I open that can, I'm done. Okay. And for example, I had the sample of Portuguese wines. They were evolving for 5 days. This is how I taste. I just spread it over a few days, and so those Portuguese wines kept getting better and better over 5 days. Okay, what the hell am I going to do with a can? Because in the normal bottle, I can put in a cork and leave it aside. Okay, the can, I open it. What's next?
Give Coravin some time. They'll come up
Coravin.
with something. Right? Coravin just came up with the sparkling. Right, that's coming out now is the sparkling Coravin. Right, we've already and we use the
Just don't shake the bottle.
we use the screw cap Coravin. So
Is there such thing like screw top Coravin?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
How the hell that works?
So the way it works is you have your screw cap wine. The most important thing is that you don't tip the wine or get oxygen into the wine. So you uncap the screw cap and you immediately put on the Coravin screw cap.
Oh,
And then the Coravin screw cap has like this, I don't know how many layers are in there, but there's like a rubber up here and a rubber there, and I don't know how many layers are in between.
But
And
it's
then
self-sealing.
the Coravin goes through the layers, and then you can pour it like a normal Coravin, but it's and then you just leave
then
the
you
screw
have to
cap
keep
on.
it like that.
You keep the Coravin screw cap on. It
Oy
works,
vey.
it works amazing. It's a lifesaver for us.
Okay.
So see?
Give me a trend that she came up with that sounds reasonable. Okay.
All right. So the next trend she says is that the wine country to look out for is Portugal.
Yep.
Really?
Says the thirst for discovery rolls on, and Portugal is becoming the latest hotspot. Why did sales of this country's wine surge 35.1%? It's simple, quality-price ratio.
Right, of course. But that's been a trend for God knows how long. I mean, come on, really?
But do you think people...
I think for people like us, not like the general market.
Right.
Yeah, general market. Okay, who will go? Who has the nice display? Okay, Suzanne, you don't count. You live in New York. But,
no, I was going to say something different though.
But anyone
here.
go to the wine store and show me a nice display of the Portuguese wine.
I think it's about also Portugal is a hot country that everybody wants to visit now. It's about wine travel and just travel in general.
Sure.
Portugal is just off the charts in terms of
Portugal
people moving
is
to Portugal, people wanting to go visit Portugal. So I think kind of that whole tourism trend is, I have like really good friends who moved to Portugal, just like everybody else has.
Portugal is amazing.
Amazing. And I think everybody, mass consumer, also is discovering that. So I think the wines are also kind of getting a lift from that.
Which is sad, but okay.
Well, sad for us, but good for Portugal.
Because it's sad. It's a personal sad because it means that the good wines will become very expensive, and they're difficult to find anyway, and because there is not that many of them coming in here. But and also, if Portugal becomes a fad, then it means that prices will grow there as well. So But anyway.
And it just won't be our little secret anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going to build on that. If you guys have been here in Napa, I know Nick is with me with this, is more and more people are making port-style wine. Those bigger, sweeter wines. And I think that that's becoming more and more of a trend. I'm seeing more people make it here in Napa, in California wineries in general. I'm seeing more and more port-style wines. And I think that that is going to also become a trend.
Actually port style, meaning actually fortified wines? Or just wines of 17% alcohol?
Fortified wines, sherries. People are going to get to know Madeira a little bit better. I think that we're seeing more of a trend where people are understanding things like Sauternes, not your regular wine that everybody reaches for. I think that people are getting a little bit more back to the basics.
Lori, for the next one, for the next writer's write-up, can you get people who live in, like, I don't know, Nebraska, Kansas City? I mean, can you get people who will offer different perspective? Because the us on the two coasts, we just, come on. What we see is not what people see.
I am more than happy to have people in the Midwest come out. I send out that you guys see how many blind CCs when I send those emails. But it's always the East and West Coasters who join me.
Yeah,
You know, it's interesting about port style wines and then just Portuguese wines in general. Because Sandeman actually, a few years ago, at least 3 or 4, did a whole push of port cocktails. So they were pushing that to go into, because port was kind of dying as a category. So they wanted to revamp it with the younger generations by getting mixologists involved and coming up with cocktails using their ports.
So Nicholas should just put it in a can and then add seltzer.
Oh no! Stop! No!
No, thank you.
Which is actually her next prediction.
That's the next trend.
Wine seltzer will be the new hard seltzer. Now, what is it? I've never even
Really?
had wine seltzer.
Decoy's already doing it. I think it's Decoy.
Did you try that? Come on, Nick. And now.
No, I tried
Did
one.
you
and
try
that was, and one is enough for anybody.
Were you able to finish the
as Willy
first
Wonka
sip?
once said,
Please.
one
no,
is enough for
that's-
anybody.
When I saw
I was getting my hair done. My stylist gave it to me. I was like, okay.
That's so funny.
No. But when I tasted it and I looked at the producer, I was completely flabbergasted. Like,
Yep.
really? That was beyond horrible. No, nobody try that.
Explain to me the process of wine seltzer.
No idea.
Where is
I think it's a mix. I think it's actually a mix. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I mean,
I can Google it, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's basically like a wine base and then adding flavored seltzer water.
It's not sparkling wine. It's not. It's definitely not sparkling.
No.
It's actually a mix.
It's like a base. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you will pour a glass of red and you will add sparkling water into it.
So isn't
Oh,
that what
why?
everybody makes fun of, like the old moms used to put the
I think old moms
7 Up in there.
ice cube, and there is nothing wrong with the ice cube. That's very different. I mean, depending if it's a hot day, this big Chardonnay is just too much,
But again, I think we're getting into a period of time when people are looking for lower alcohol. They're looking for smaller servings, and so this is offering them something where they can feel, we'll say, classy by drinking wine, while still having something for the pool that they can not get drunk on.
that quality concept is a little
That's a good. That's good. Yeah, barefoot, nice.
Hey, I'd take that gallon of money any day.
Me too. Let's be real.
Actually, I
right?
had barefoot sparkling, and it was not horrible.
well,
I had it
there's
at
the
I
thing.
think
It
at one of
wasn't
the wine
horrible,
bloggers conference, and it was not horrible.
But
What about
Trinchero.
hybrids?
Trinchero.
Don't you think that's a trend? Hybrids? Do you think more people
I
will be drinking
do.
hybrids and planting hybrids, of course?
And what do you
I
mean?
really believe that is going to be a big trend.
Yes.
Mixing unusual combinations of wines and hybrid wines are definitely coming forward. Mixtures that you've never heard of. One of my local wineries has a rosé that had like 10 different grapes in it. And it was phenomenal. It was really good.
I thought Susannah, you were
Right.
talking about hybrid grapes.
Grapes.
versus-
I'm talking about hybrid grapes. Yeah, I'm
right,
talking about hybrid
versus
grapes
the
like
Vitis vinifera that we're
Right,
all used
right.
to.
I'm talking about the
And so
rise
my
of those.
question
Yeah.
is, and it's actually very interesting because there was an article in I think in New York Times very
Yes,
recently,
yes,
which
about
was talking
France.
about France. Yes, that was very very interesting article. Talking about
I
hybrids,
agree.
American hybrids in France, and France was trying
Right.
to outlaw them for a very long
Right.
time, and they failed.
Right.
It's and those wines are the riot there. So
Well, it's because of climate change, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So, you
yeah,
know, that's why
yeah.
so many people are
You have to
planting
adapt.
hybrids.
I think
So
the
I think
problem
I
with
think that's a
hybrids-
trait.
And now, a word from our sponsor. Dracaena Wines loves to give back. There are so many fur babies that deserve to find their forever home. We would love to be able to help as many as possible. If you are part of a nonprofit organization or know of a nonprofit organization that would like to hold a fundraiser, please contact us at contact@dracaenawines.com or visit our website, dracaenawines.com, to fill out the form. How does the fundraiser work? It is super simple and costs your group absolutely nothing. Together, we will choose a month that your group will be sponsored. During the month, you promote the fundraiser just like any other event you'd hold. At the end of the month, we will donate 20% of the sales to your organization. The donations will be made in the name of each individual who purchased the wine so that you know exactly who helped the animals. Our goal is to raise as much funds as we possibly can and to help as many animals as possible. So please help us help as many fur babies as we possibly can. Is going
That's
to
a
be
trend.
the German problem. You're not going to be able to pronounce 3/4 of the hybrids. Right?
True.
And
That's a
True.
big problem with a lot of German, the whole quality tiers and all
True.
that stuff. People can't pronounce it. They want to stick to Americans, general population Americans.
want to stick with what they know. This is how people order wine. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I think
Michael's holding his head.
Yeah. So
I don't see Michael doing a hybrid.
no. So with all these trends, I'm starting a new website called Stuck in the Mud and Happy.
But I did an article about how they're using hybrids for climate change because they've realized that, even though that we have the same kind of weather patterns here in California that they have in Italy, rather than we're far closer to that climate than we are to France, our UV index is completely different. And so that you need to have the right grape varieties to be there so that they will actually thrive. Other than that, like Sangiovese dies on the vine here in California unless you use the right hybrid grape.
Well, yeah, again, I think you're going to have to make it well. You're probably going to have to use a fanciful name or name it something easy to pronounce. And then, too, I mean, we had to do it with rootstock because, again, French rootstock, the Vinified rootstock didn't take. So, well, it was killed. We killed it. And so, basically, yeah, adapt or die.
Right.
Michael will die in the mud.
Darwin rules again.
Yeah. Harry Carey, here I come.
Right, but I mean, this is interesting that people need to. Well, I don't know. I think there are a few different trends here. Not trends, I don't know, but directions. Because one direction is that you just don't use the name of the grape on your bottle. This is, it's like, for example, Turley. It says Petit Syrah. Their library Petit Syrah actually has, I don't remember the exact number. I think it's almost 18 different grapes in it, as a supplement. Because in addition to it's Petit Syrah for the majority. Otherwise, they will not put it on the label. But really, there is 18 others in there. So I don't know. You probably have ways out of it. But people always ask, "Oh, what is it made out of?"
Right.
Ah.
I agree.
I don't
think if they're going to do hybrids, you're going with the fanciful name.
Yeah, you just use names.
It better be a.
Well, I was just thinking about what people, let's say in New York State, who go to, visit the Finger Lakes or visit Long Island or the Hudson Valley, a lot of the grapes that they are getting in these wines are hybrids. They may not know that it's a hybrid, but they are hybrids.
Really? On Long Island?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on Long Island.
Give me an example. No, I need an example. I have not seen... okay, last year obviously did not visit Long Island, but... the year before, I was there in a few wineries. I didn't see anything with hybrids.
Have you seen Vidal Blanc at all out there?
Vidal Blanc, this is more Hudson Valley. This is not Vidal on Long Island? Really?
I've had Vidal on Long Island. I've had lots of Vidal from the Finger Lakes. Lots and
Vidal.
lots. But Vidal
Okay.
is a hybrid. I mean,
Okay.
it's an
Yeah.
okay hybrid like
Like,
Vignoles or Traminet or
Yep,
Sambursine.
They don't
All
do
those are
Chambourcine on Long Island. I don't think so.
No,
I don't
more
know.
again,
I
Finger
can't
Lakes.
name a producer.
Finger Lakes,
more in the
Hudson
Finger
Valley.
Lakes.
Okay, Finger Lakes, Hudson Valley is different, but Long Island is very up proper. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm sure Chris Tracy does all of those things. He
I
does
hear it's in
everything.
this seltzer area, New York. The finger, the neck, the upper and the lower neck are both going to be seltzer areas.
I don't know. I'm just saying, you were saying like we can need people from Nebraska. It's not even just people from Nebraska. Just a lot of people are drinking these kind of wines. Like, in
I think
Michigan,
there's a
let's
lot
say.
of-
Michigan. I was going to say Michigan. It's
Michigan,
gonna be
like
good.
the old
Susanna,
Mission Peninsula,
Michigan.
right?
Yep, Michigan. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah.
No.
When I-
All I meant is to understand what they see as a trend, because what we see, what Amber reports from Napa is very different from. I would bet it's very different. Yes, they drink. They drink those, but this is what is locally made. They visit wineries. Those are the wines they buy. So this is not like it's not like someone ripped out Cabernet Sauvignon and planted I don't know, Chambourcine instead. It's not like it was like that. So it's.
Well, so as I was preparing for the Cab Franc this year for April of 2022, I went through over 1,000 websites of wineries, and I did find a tremendous number of hybrid wines from Michigan, Illinois, New York, Virginia, Pennsylvania. So, but not so much out here in California, where we don't allow seltzer to come in or rosé bubblies to come in. So,
Lori, what are the other trends? What else is there?
I just got a pop-up, and Google is something new, and they only do an hour, so I'm a little annoyed at that. But so the last trend I want to talk about before I get booted off of Google is there are champagne robot sommeliers.
yeah.
So there are robots, Dom Perignon, and 2M Group restaurants in London unleashed Bailey and Sage, which ferry bottles and glasses of bubbly to customers. And Hotel Trio sends out Rosie the Robot, which cracks me up. That's just the Jetsons. To deliver room services. How awesome is that? So you want to be served by a robot?
I read about robot bartenders. There are robot bartenders,
Yeah.
so they can mix it. I mean,
an actual robot, like Rosie goes to your room.
Hey, if she pours me a full glass, I don't care. That's what I'm more worried about. I mean, it's kitschy, so you're going to see it in all the high-end restaurants, the high-end hotels, in all of the major markets: the Dallases, the Houstons, the LAs, San Francisco's, Chicago's. But is it going to make it to Nebraska? Probably not.
Yeah.
one day it will. I mean, I think it's a little too early to call that a trend.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this is
Something cool happening.
Yeah, this is cool.
Gimmick.
Yeah, this is cool.
But it
yeah.
makes me so happy that we all went to all these wine classes and went to wine school, only that a robot is going to take over our jobs and recommend wine to people with their palate.
Everyone is different, and no robot can figure out your palate.
Exactly.
And wine is about passion. Wine is about emotion. What robot? Come on. This is
Well,
robot delivering the glass. This is fine.
You haven't met Rosie. You haven't met Rosie
I was
yet.
going to say, I don't think Rosie's going to be sexually harassed by everybody in the CMS. But
I see a little marriage going on here with those two, Rosie and.
Oh yeah.
Did George Jetson sexually harass Rosie the robot?
Oh God, that's going to be a next article. We're going to.
that's only if he's a master.
Yeah. No, but by the way, this is all interesting, but I think one of the real trends post-pandemic is getting away with just a free, not free, but unplanned winery visits, and just really everything. This is what I see in Oregon. They almost all of them now. You can't just come in
Oh, that's
unless you have an appointment.
Yeah,
Unless you have an
appointment.
appointment, you cannot come in from the street. You have to have an appointment, and then you get very different experience. You get
That's not
more
going
of a
anywhere.
personal service, and so on and so on. I've been at the winery where people were just sent away. They just walked in and sorry, you don't have an appointment. Sorry.
Yep.
Make one come another day. So I think this is a big
That is
post-COVID
here to
trend.
stay.
This is going to be. I don't know how Napa will live with this, but probably they.
Pretty much everybody's everybody's pretty much gone. I mean, some people can do walk-ins, but for the most part, it makes the reservation. I think another trend that will stay is alcohol to go for restaurants.
Agreed.
Because some people, the on-premise died during COVID. It started to come back, but as we start shutting down again, knock on wood, it's going to get better. That alcohol to go was a way to stay alive.
Absolutely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am very upset to say this, but Google is going to boot me off in 5 minutes. Damn them. So I'm going to give you guys a minute apiece to kind of tell us a little wrap up about yourselves and what trend you wish or hope stays with us. We'll go backwards. Anatoli.
I'm not ready. I don't know what I don't know what trend I want to say.
Well, just tell people how they can find you.
Sure, of course. So it's again, I'm Anatoli Levine. Blog is named Tocavino, so it's talk. You can just talk a vino either all together or talk-a-vino.com. Very easy to find.
Awesome. Amber.
Hi, so you can reach me at Wine Travel Eats, and I'm on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and pretty much everything. And I would like to, I would like to see more pushing the boat with different types of blends, being more unique with the varieties in the bottles of wine that I'm tasting. That's what I would like to see stay.
Awesome. Michael.
So first, I really don't want any of these trends. I think I'm a throwback, and not because of what I like, but I know, and Susannah going to Italy on 2-3 week excursions that I've done, and going to Barbaresco and having Nebliolos and Nero di Avolas and you name it, Barolos. I like to have wines that have a place in history and a presence, that there is a known entity for a period of time. And when these things, I think these trends that she came across, or think these are trends, these are just very little blips on the Richter scale. And when we get done with this over time, they're never going to, nobody's going to remember seltzer and pink bubbly. And I know that, Susannah, I know that, but there's things that are not, some of these trends that she enumerated are not going to be ever thought about again. So that's, I threw the gauntlet down, I threw the glove down.
All right, Nick.
So Winecom Guy, WINECOMMGUY on all the social channels. If you're ever coming to Napa, Sonoma, Sassoon, give me a ring and I can give you my favorite destinations. And Michael, when am I going to be asked to judge your Cab Franc competition?
Well, I got my first backup here with Amber, and so but I will. I can put you into the mix if we get as many as I hope we get this year.
Awesome.
Perfect.
That would be
Hey,
I'm
great.
writing your name down, Nicholas.
And Susannah?
So you can find me at avinare.com or vignetocommunications.com. My hope trend that will continue is everybody being interested in indigenous varieties from various countries, specifically from Italy, and an attention to sustainability. And you can find my podcast about sustainability, the Vigneto podcast. Those are my two trends.
Awesome.
Great.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining me and talking about these sort of kind of trends and whether or not they're going to go. And I love that everybody has such vivid and lively opinions of these trends. And I look forward to seeing you all on the camera again and hopefully in real life soon. So thank you very much for joining. Have a wonderful Tuesday. And I'm drinking water, but I will say it anyway. Sláinte.
Yeah, Sláinte.
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 Thank you all.
Cheers, y'all.
This was a lot of fun. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Good.
Cheers.
Bye. This has been another episode of Exploring the Wineglass. Thanks for listening. If you have suggestions on what topics you would like me to discuss, please reach out on social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as Exploring the Wineglass. I am also on LinkedIn as Lori Hoytbud. Of course, you can always email me at exploringthewineglass@gmail.com. If you enjoyed what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe to help others find me more easily. And most importantly, tell your wine-loving friends, because if you like the podcast, they will too. Music is Wine by Kevens. Until next week, Sláinte.
Feel divine. That was no brandy, that was no martini. Irish coffee.